got you, buddy.
Dude, you're a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself, idiot.
I broke my monitor. There's a fucking hole in my monitor.
Oh my, the bot too, dude.
That literally has to be our last game. I broke my monitor. We literally can't play another one.
Wow, bro.
I'll send you a picture. There's a fucking hole in my monitor. He's right there. He's right there, Rant. Direct front. My game crashed. There's a little bit of a problem with Warzone. I'm definitely not the first person to talk about it. I probably won't be the last person to talk about it, but ever since Modern Warfare 2019, there's been a problem. Skill-based matchmaking in the game is simply just too strong. If I wanted to play a ranked play, I would, like I have been on Vanguard and like I did on Cold War. If that was the experience I was looking for, it's what I would pursue. But if I'm trying to play something casual, I should have an option to do that. We've been hearing a lot of complaints about skill-based matchmaking being a little bit too strong, especially in the later seasons recently. Colt 45 and I decided to test that out a little bit. We grinded for about a week straight and just sweat our fucking balls off. You can look at this chart here at how much my KD ratio spiked over the course of a week. It was insane. We were playing tournaments, we were ratting, we were grinding, we were dropping as many games as we could every day and getting as many kills as we could. We were doing everything we could. By the end of it, we were being placed in harder lobbies. We were also noticing some different experiences that other people have been reporting recently that we can talk about. Needless to say, it had its moments. Oh my god, I'm getting fucking melted. You have incendiary rounds on. It's a pregame. It's a fucking pregame. It counts to nothing. You're just doing this to feel good about yourself because you never got love as a child, you fucking orphan. Oh my god. Our group's dynamic is usually pretty solidified. I'm usually just kind of chill, just trying to get some content. Colt 45 is usually the one that's raging and insulting people's family lineage. Terran's usually just there for the laughs and usually some pretty clutch plays. All that went out the window as soon as we started this challenge. I was so mad. I didn't enjoy this. I'm gonna end up breaking something by the end of this fucking game. Cut my fucking parachute when I press fucking C! My mother. I'm not proud. Before I get ahead of myself, I'll just explain a little bit of what's going on. For those of you who haven't been following Call of Duty or don't play it very often, there's this thing they introduced back in 2019 called skill-based matchmaking. It was in lightly in some of the other games, but it's really been amplified since Modern Warfare 2019. In essence, the better you play, the better the enemies you get matched with are. It makes sense. This way it stops people from pub stomping. You're not going to be getting in a game with someone with a 10 KD when you're just starting. It makes sense. The downside of how strong it is right now and how many people are playing the game is that there's really large gaps. So you start trending upwards like we were in that graph you saw earlier, and all of a sudden you're matching with fucking pros. I'm obviously exaggerating a little bit. We're not matching with pros. Our KDs aren't that high, but there's a noticeable jump between the average KD of 0.95 and even just some of the lower end KDs like 1.3. Colt 45 is rocking a 2.5 at the end of this challenge. Obviously, with the two of us playing together, the enemies we were being matched with were way above my skill level and frankly above his as well. Are we capable of getting our KDs up that high? Yes, we did it for this challenge. We were able to prove that we could do it in a week alone. The problem is, we can't sustain that. We were grinding so hard just to get in these bad lobbies, just to make this video. In a normal day, we're not playing at this level. We're not performing at a 1.5 or a 2.5 KD. At the end of the day, we're YouTubers and Twitch streamers. We try and make content. We're here for some funny moments and things like that. We're not here to sweat like we're trying to go pro. The new experience that I mentioned at the top of the video, skill-based matchmaking might have gone a little bit too far. It's been going very viral on TikTok recently because they've added a new thing, allegedly, yet to be confirmed by Activision, but there's enough proof out there on the internet that people are experiencing this, called skill-based hit reg. Those of you who don't play video games, hit registration, it determines if your shots are hitting or they're not, if they count or they don't. It's a fairly simple concept. To kind of balance out some of these wonky high and low KD lobbies that maybe people are sneaking into late at night when there aren't that many people on or when the player counts are a little bit lower, the people with a higher KD aren't hitting the shots that they should be. They'll be aiming their reticle directly at the enemy, and the shots simply won't hit if they're shooting at somebody with a lower KD. That way the gunfight's a little bit more balanced.
No what?
No, but
Oh my god,
come on,
did you
bro.
see that?
What is this game, bro?
Did you see that?
that?
And he shot all my feet.
If you do get why that's a horrible, atrocious, horrendous, 0% informed good idea, please keep watching.
Stairs are in. I'm gonna go
On me. He's fucking nasty. What is this fucking demon? What did he hit me with? I went from fucking gold Vanguard gun. You're a pussy. Dude, what the fuck is that? It like two-shot me. Just stay alive. Hopefully I get in before the storm closes. Fuck me. How the fuck, man? Are you kidding me? My mouse now has no weights in it. Accidentally took the weights out. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in my room. I spiked that bitch, then threw my headset. Look, I'll be honest with you. That session of recording was about 4 hours long. We'd spent about a week grinding to get our KDs up to make this video. The majority of the session is just me raging, saying obscenities, Colt doing the same things, neither of us enjoying ourselves. I could continue to show you clips from that, or I could just talk to content creator to audience. Friend to friend. We're friends right now. We're not friends. But if we were friends, I would just sit you down and I would explain to you why skill-based matchmaking is very bad for this game. I know I'm talking to a wall here. I know I'm ultimately wasting my time. The decision to add skill-based matchmaking into the game was made 3 years ago. Many people with much larger audiences than myself have complained about it. They've voiced their concerns, and nothing has changed. There hasn't been a casual mode added. There hasn't been a competitive mode added. They've added tournaments to foster more of a competitive scene, but they're not separate from the casual gameplay. It's literally just queuing into the exact same matches you would be anyway. Activision clearly has no intentions of changing this, despite how many people have complained about it and how long and persistently we've done so. I'm not going to boycott Call of Duty. I'm not going to boycott Activision. I enjoy their games for what they're worth. But there does need to be a serious reevaluation of the skill-based matchmaking system. It's not fun when you have a few good games, or maybe you're playing good for a week because the meta shifted, and then all of a sudden, you're not having that fun anymore. The game will make itself less fun if you're playing too well. It steers people away from wanting to get good at Call of Duty because now they're getting punished for it. They're being penalized for performing at a higher level. The better you are at the game, the less fun you're going to have. A little bit more anecdotal here. When I was growing up, I liked to play video games a lot with my dad. He started me out on Modern Warfare 3. That was when I first started playing Call of Duty with him. I played video games myself before, but when Modern Warfare 3 came out, him and I would always play split screen on it. It was how I grew up. Then Black Ops 2 came. I had my own PS3, he had his own. We would play on our separate systems and play online almost every day. We did the same thing on Ghosts. We did a little bit on Advanced Warfare. We started playing a lot of Battlefield together. We grew up playing video games together, and it was fun. It was a part of my childhood. It was how I was brought up. With that being the case, Call of Duty became a very dominant part of my life and my upbringing. I remember when Call of Duty Ghosts was a thing, I would watch MLG tournaments all the time. I remember seeing Nadeshot suit up in his optic gear, perform in a tournament, and I lost my mind. All I wanted to do was play like them. It was so great to see a thriving competitive mindset. Call of Duty and the competitive esports scene have been so intrinsically entwined for so long. It's just heartbreaking to see that competitive aspect of it unfortunately dominate a casual game. There was always a very good separation between ranked play and traditional multiplayer that no longer exists. They've added a ranked play feature to the last two Call of Duties. Cold War and Vanguard both have really well-structured ranked play for those who want that competitive experience, but they never took skill-based matchmaking out of multiplayer. So even if you're not playing ranked, you're still being matched with people you shouldn't be if you're trying to have a casual time. It's extremely frustrating when that gets factored into something like a battle royale like Warzone, because so much of a battle royale is completely RNG. It's so much luck of where you're going to land, where the storm's going to close, where the plane's going to start at the beginning, what loot you're going to find on the ground, if you're going to find ammo for it, and how much money is around for you to get your own loadout. Things like that matter. In a skill-based game, You can't have that much RNG. There's a reason Valorant doesn't have random weapons and money on the ground. If you want to have a competitive game, there's got to be strategy involved. There's got to be tactics. There's got to be things that you can control. And that's not a thing in a Battle Royale. A Battle Royale, there's a place for skill-based matchmaking, but does not need to be this extreme. Am I saying that somebody who booted up the game for the first time last week should be matched with someone like Dr. Disrespect? No, obviously I'm fucking not. There should be some sort of distinction between new player lobbies and those who have 500 hours logged in the game or more. That should obviously be a thing, but for it to be so fluctuating based on your performance over the course of a week just doesn't make sense. It's bad for the game, it's bad for the community, and frankly, it's a very large part of why Call of Duty is as hated as it is now. I understand the numbers. I understand how much money Activision's making. Call of Duty is clearly not dying. They're making more money every month than they have in the entire company's history. But the general vocal consensus online from competitive players, from casual players, from content creators, and from general players on Twitter who just want to voice their concerns, nobody enjoys the direction these games are heading in. Yes, Vanguard sold a lot of copies and it made a lot of money. The integration with Warzone was frankly a really good idea for Call of Duty a few years back. But the money means nothing if the people buying the games and giving you money for the cosmetics aren't happy with the experience. If you're not retaining your player base and keeping them satisfied, all of it's eventually going to crumble. The money's a really big factor. It's the main reason why none of this is ever going to change. We can voice our concerns all we want, but as long as the money keeps coming in, they're not going to actively change it. It's been 3 years, you still can't cancel a plating animation halfway through. It's been 3 years, your parachute doesn't automatically deploy when you spam the spacebar. It's been 3 years, your game still freezes sometimes when you cut your parachute. It's been 3 years, getting revived still crashes your game. It's been 3 years of DirectX error crashes. It's been 3 years of error status platypus. It's been 3 years of so many of these game-breaking bugs that people have complained about over and over again, but ultimately Activision isn't focused on fixing the game. The more cosmetics they pop out, the more money they make and the happier they are. That is their priority. Their priority is making sure the servers are up, making sure the game is running, making sure there are skins in the store. They don't care about what the audience wants. If they did, Vanguard would have dropped its rank play a month after launch, not 4. If they did, we would have gotten a new map to replace Verdansk instead of running with it for 2 years. If they did, they'd understand how bad we want the mantling on Caldera to be fixed. Activision clearly doesn't care, so there's no point in me sitting here complaining about skill-based matchmaking other than it needed to be said. It's been said by a million other people, but it hasn't been said by me. I didn't provide any nuance here. I didn't say anything new or show any new evidence that hasn't already been provided that's going to change something. I'm just another face in the crowd trying to get the game that I love back to a place where I can enjoy playing it. I shouldn't have to negatively influence my KD every few games to get put in better lobbies. I shouldn't have to reverse boost. I shouldn't have to do any of this if I just want to have fun playing a video game with my friends. Skill-based matchmaking is bad for Call of Duty, it's bad for the community, and it's bad for Activision. The money is going to distract them from this, and that's just something we're all going to have to live with.